What is going on, folks? We are back. We are back in the cantina after a week off from the Thanksgiving holiday. Now that the old man has ate and drank and is fattened up, we are ready to roll in three scoundrels in a cantina. As always, old man Logan, Avant, and Bob. And Bob, when I told you about our guest, you went like, "Oh shit, really?" So I'm gonna let you introduce this one.
Yeah, I mean, you're living under a rock if you don't know ScrybeGaming. Me and Scribe, we when we're streaming, we like to do some raiding back and forth. I don't think we've really hung out with Scribe, but we've raided each other for a few years now, haven't we? We've been raid buddies, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
I think so. Yeah, yeah.
But
Thanks for having me on, guys. Do appreciate it.
That's how I know him personally. Sorry, but everyone knows Scribe. He's very informative. He has a video for everything.
Oh,
He's a consistent streamer, so I would definitely put him on the top tier of content creating for SWGOH right now. So
No, Scribe, definitely. That's how I found you, is just from playing this game, looking for guides, and I saw you come up, and I think one video you did, I remember you read the Darth Malgus kit, and I remember you just being like, "Oh my god, guys, this is going to kick the shit out of everything." And I just
yeah.
you always broke down kits really well and had really good informative guides.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I mean, you'll make my head just like inflate now. I'll burst inside this room. God damn.
Hey,
I
man.
need to be a little bit more grounded.
we got to give credit where it's due, my friend.
Agreed.
Oh, appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it.
But so what's going on, guys? How was your guys' holiday for anyone in the States, anyways? And you guys have because we had a week off. Remember? You guys have a good holiday?
No, yeah, absolutely. I was with the wife and at her dad's place out in the country. We deep fried a turkey and just, man, yeah. I'll just leave it at that. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I had a busy weekend. Family, friends, traveled up to Philly to hang out with a friend of mine from school. Good weekend.
Good. Same here. I didn't really do much. The kids were off with family, and so we just kept it low key. Do you guys do anything over there, man? Across the way, Scribe?
Oh God, no. I had to be reminded about this Thanksgiving thing. I was like, "What's that again?" But I don't know if you guys know, but I do a podcast on Sunday evenings with a couple of my friends on Twitch, and they're all American, so they told me in no uncertain terms that they will not be doing the podcast on that particular Sunday as they have family commitments. So I was like, "Yeah, all right, fine. I'll have a weekend off, I guess." So I mean, that was nice. So I guess I did celebrate in some way.
Americans aren't really sure what Thanksgiving is either. We just know we're supposed to celebrate and eat. So,
Hey, man, the excuse to eat some turkey, right? I mean, can't be a bad thing.
Yeah. Yep. There wasn't really too much news, was there, guys?
There wasn't. But let's go down the guest interrogation. So, Scribe, please tell us, how long have you been content creating, and what got you into content creating?
Oh, right. Okay. So I started back in 2020. So I'm a COVID content creator baby. I am. COVID hit, the world stopped, and I was like, I'm bored, man. I got to do something. Yeah. So even though, I like most content creators, particularly for this game, Star Wars content creation doesn't keep the lights on. My name's not Arnold, so I have a full-time job, and my full-time job continued throughout of COVID, but I knew I was going to be spending an inordinate amount of time next to my computer. So I thought, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just do some YouTube stuff. I play this Galaxy of Heroes game quite a bit, and it just kind of went from there, man. Literally like April 2020, so a month into lockdown for me, and been doing it ever since, really. It's a lot of laughs, a lot of fun.
Nice.
And same here, man. I did the same thing. It was like 2020, and I started with Dragon Champions. I didn't do SWGOH yet, but
oh God, I remember that one.
Yeah.
I think wasn't it McMull too was one of the first Galaxy of Heroes content creators to sort of like jump ship on that one, and
DB
I
Official
think he got disillusioned.
DB Official was one of the top ones too. Arnold and Mobile Gamer, they did a few videos. They weren't too deep into it, but DB Official, I was in his guild, and they went on for a while, but I think they kind of saw where that was going earlier than a lot of people did. But after they all left, I kind of took over. Me and another buddy. We were the top content creators for it, which isn't saying a lot. You know what I'm saying? But it got me into But you know, it broke me in. I was really awkward and stuff, but it broke me into things, and I started getting to know people from the SWGOH world, which kind of got me into that part. So, but yeah, I kind of started around the same time you did. So I have a question. Yeah. When did you start seeing your stuff take off? I can't remember. Were you always a YouTuber, or did you do both at the same time? How did that work out?
I started off on YouTube, yeah. I even started, first of all, streaming. Like, I first streamed on YouTube because I was like, I make YouTube videos. I guess I'll stream on YouTube. And then I realized that Twitch is actually, a lot easier to get monetized. Not that I'm doing it for money, because like I said, doesn't keep the lights on, you know. But it was a lot easier. And I'm a guy that's sort of motivated by milestones. So I was like, yeah, let's get monetized, or, you know, what is it? Affiliated on Twitch. And I did that like 2 months after I started YouTube. But I was almost exclusively just all YouTube videos, and then started streaming because a couple of my mates were like, hey, you should do some live streams. They'll be fun. I was like, yeah, all right. Why not? So, I've not streamed on YouTube since, though. Twitch was just a much, it was a much more accommodating platform, I feel, for live streaming, at least back then. I know YouTube has made a lot of steps now to make that sort of... live streaming platform a lot more friendly. Like back then, they didn't even have memberships. There was nothing, right? So like, it was, what's the point of streaming on YouTube outside of additional audience reach? So,
technically, it was hard for me to figure it out. So that's just why I went to Twitch. I'm still not sure.
Yeah, for real.
I couldn't even figure out.
It was awkward, man.
Like, I couldn't figure out how to get the chat up on my OBS. I think I could probably do it now because I know how it works. But yeah, it was frustrating for me. That's why I did Twitch as well. I also started with Streamlabs, but then I moved over to OBS. Second part of the question. So you've been around, but not that long. When did you start seeing things take off? Like, what certain video that you did or anything?
Yeah. Let me think. Yeah, I think
I'm gonna say
I did a couple of.
Everybody's got that one video where they look at the views and go, "Oh shit." Yeah.
I think for me, it was, I did a video. There's two different sort of milestones. One was earlier, but it didn't have as big of an impact. And that one was, it was a Galactic Legend counter to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren that was using gas with Han, Chewie, and fives. Oh, no, yeah, gas, Han, Chewie, fives? Something like that. Back then, when Slacker first came out, and he was just like a whole mess of shit. He was broken to all hell. But back then, his AI was so bugged that if you had fives in a gas fiver first lineup, he wouldn't do any AoEs. So all he would do is poke. He'd poke and he'd basic. He'd never swipe, so he'd never ramp mastery, and he'd never hit ultimate because Chewie was passing guard over to fives, so there was no crits. And you could just kill the entire team with that really weird comp. You didn't even need a full team. And people were like, what the fuck is this? So it was like, that one sort of got me on the map, as it were. Little people started picking up on my videos and stuff. And then the next one was when I did the Heroic Sith solo guide with Commander Ahsoka Tano, because it's my badge of pride. I invented that. That's my fucking team. It's the only thing I can claim. It's like, yeah, that's my team, and people used that. So I was like, yeah, that one's still like my second highest viewed video on YouTube. And it's a little bit depressing if I think about it, because that was like, what, 2 years ago? Never mind.
So I've been telling Logan about this Imperial troop team that I can take Jabba down with, and I fucked up in front of him. Oh yeah. Now he makes fun of me. Have you seen what this comp with like Magma Trooper and it takes out? Yeah. So Logan, see, it's a real thing. Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, Arnold did a video on it yesterday, but I had a couple of little birdies whisper in my ear and run through that with me a couple of weeks ago. It's been known by the Gauntlet guilds for quite a while.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah,
but they don't tend to advertise that sort of thing. I've got inside scoop, guys. No, there's just
now I know who to talk to.
To know that one,
I'm going to be DMing more often now, man.
Yeah, no, that was literally just one of the ones that I just happened to have found out about, and I was like, that's really cool. But of course, my Magna is like Gear 1 level 50. He's a mod mule. I'm not relicking him for a short time Imperial Trooper counter.
I gotta ask, what is your GP? How does your roster depth look? And am I going to be writing you a certified card to the yacht club? Because these guys give me shit because I sit on a yacht because I am a spender.
Fair. All right. So my GP right now is 10.7 mil. I've been playing since June 2018. I'd say my roster depth is it's good where it matters. I mean, I've got every GL. The only thing out of the journey guide that I'm missing is Afra and the new Bo-Katan. So I'm basically set. But if you like start peeling that fucking onion, you'll be like, what the hell, Scribe? Why are your Night Sisters like gear 8? And I'll be like, well, you see, there's this thing, I just never had the time, and there'll be other stuff out there. So yeah, I mean, I've got it where it counts. I feel. Yeah, I've got all the GLs. I can say that finally.
Afra isn't like a huge. I think a lot of rosters can overcome it.
Are you going to chase Afra with the Datacron set?
No. By the time I get Afra, that Datacron set will be dusting, I feel. Only because right now I'm pushing heavy into new Bo-Katan, right? For the first time in ever, something new's come out, and I'm like, I'm going to shard shop purchase the marquees. I never do that because my old free-to-play brain, because I used to be free-to-play many years ago, was like, God, no, I won't buy shards for crystals. That's like 3 times more expensive than farming them when they go hard node farmable. But then you miss the first release, obviously, almost indefinitely. But this time I'm in a position where I'm like, yeah, I can just spend those 80 crystals per shard and actually jump on Bo-Katan. So that means right now, Afra can just go fuck herself. I'll get her later.
Yeah, she's more luxury. She's still she's always just been luxury. Really, there's no.
She's good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't feel like Afra is that character that makes or breaks your roster. It's like she's got some pretty nifty counters, right? You can use her in some good places, especially with this new Datacron. But I'm not like, God damn, I wish I had Afra. It's just kind of like, yeah, it should be nice, but I'd rather have new Bo-Katan. So,
what is it about the Bo-Katan that tickled your fancy that made you go through this change of spending crystals for the shards?
Just because I feel like my roster's in a place where I can do it. I enjoy GAC. So it's like, I finished off Leia. I got all the GLs. Afra's the only thing. And I'm like, this is new. This is exciting. This is sexy. And it's Bo-Katan. She's hot as fuck. So it's like, yeah, why not? Why not?
So you're part of the 2%. You're part of the 2%.
2% milk, maybe? Yeah.
You don't. Okay, so she was doing some interview and she was like talking about how like
I know
98% of people and then 2% of Star Wars fans like her and just want her to sit on their face or something.
It's only 2%. That's
Mrs. Scribble is asleep now, so yeah.
Yeah. Really just 2%.
2% seems awfully low. I think she was probably being modest.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So what's her comp supposed to be? Does anyone know who's going on the team? The Bo-Katan team?
Yeah, man. I mean, the 5th is still a little bit up in the air, but everybody else is kind of prescribed, right?
I think with what I've been working with, these guys are going to give me shit. I wailed out on the 2 marquees that are out already, so I'm kind of running this bounty hunter squad, and I honestly, if I go to my squads here, I mean, obviously, I don't think Keller and Beck is going on this team. I think this is going to be another turd polishing Galactic Republic Jedi. So I hope. I mean, that would be nice. So I think that definitely the 2 marquees are going to be obviously Bo-Katan's going to be the lead. I'm going to say Beskar Mando and the armor.
Well, I mean, that's it, right? Like IG-12 Grogu's definitely going to be there because the direct synergy with BAM, right? It's going to be a full light side Mando. So we know it's going to be Bo-Katan Mandalore, and we know it's going to be Paz because he was literally made for this team. So it's only 1 slot left. And out of light side Mandos, we've got 2 units. Really, you're not going to throw Sabine in there. She's kind of tied at the hip to Phoenix. So it's going to be either Armorer or it's going to be OG Bo-Katan. So it's one of those. And until we see Bo-Katan Mandalore's kit, I don't think we'll know for sure. I want to say it's Armorer but only because it'd be weird to have two Bo-Katans on the team, or even though we do that all the time with General Kenobi and GMK and all that sort of business. But yeah, I agree. But Keller and Beck is not going on that team. No chance.
No.
Do you think they would make it? Do you think that Do you think that CG cares if they will take armor away from your C team, or you know what I'm saying? Do you think they care?
Nah.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think they give a fuck.
Yeah.
At this point, C doesn't necessarily need armor to work, right? Yeah. A lot of people these days don't even take WAD in with C. They'll just throw a bunch of trash Sith and still take out what they need to take out.
Right.
And ultimately, let's be honest, Trench is not doing enough to warrant taking WAT away from C if you do need that. Or maybe you throw him with Slacker these days to help tackle Jabber and stuff like that. So I think they don't really care.
I mean,
wait and see.
There's a lot of teams where there's a definite fifth, but you can always take that out and put something else and still make it work. So
I like when the teams are flexible like that.
Sam.
Like if there's a different purpose for the fifth slot, you can counter a different squad with a different character in there. I always like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's nice if they can get that balance right, where it's like there's not one clear winner for every scenario, right? It's like, if you happen to be going up against GL Lair with this new Datacron set, then you want to have OG Bo-Katan, but if you want to go and take out Jabba, you want to throw in Armorer for some known reason. I don't know. I feel like that Beskar stack is going to be pretty tasty.
Oh, absolutely. And I've just got to say, Paz Vizsla is a thick.
That's exactly what I was thinking. You put 3 stacks of Beskar on Paz, let him recover protection and counterattack,
and immune to crits. Like, okay, so you can come back to me in 6.5 minutes after the game has ended, and you're still trying to hit him. Like, it just.
Yeah, Scribe. I put my Paz to Relic 9, and his numbers are outrageous.
Oh man. Yeah, that is the way. That is the way. Tanks at R9, and he is a juicy mother. He is big and thick. Yeah, they built him nice. I like it.
What are you expecting out of this bow kit? What would you like to see? And do you think CG is going to get this right? I mean, they did say 3 Omicrons for GAC.
Yeah, 3 GAC Omicrons. Like, I'm generally speaking, the GAC Omicron units tend to land pretty well. Like. I think they fucked up a little bit when it comes to Afra in particular, because they kind of diluted that with making it 3v3 or 5v5 with her, her droids, right? The droids have the 3v3 armies. She's got a 5v5 army, but then without her Datacron to complement, she's okay, not phenomenal. But you look at other ones and you look at stuff like Starkiller, and Starkiller is freaking phenomenal, right? He's still got relevance to this day. I think it'll be okay. I don't think all 3 armies will be mandatory. I think there's going to be one clear one that is like, you absolutely must have this fucking Omicron. And that'll probably be like on her leadership. And honest to God, I hope it's something like entire Mandalorian light side allies start with 3 stacks of Beskar armor, because that would just be obnoxious. Maybe that'll be on the Datacron, actually. You never know.
That would be absolutely sick.
But yeah, all I know is I remember them saying when they announced it is that she's going to be a threat, and with her Datacron in particular, she's going to be knocking down GLs. So that kind of gives us an idea of where the power level's going to sit. And I think it'll be one of those things that her first Datacron set with her armies, she's going to be obnoxious as all hell, like horrendous to face. As soon as that Datacron dies off, she'll be okay. She'll be like very worthwhile to have. Maybe has a soft counter against a GL somewhere or 2 GLs. That's what I'm hoping with it. I'm hoping where they land with it. But honestly, we don't really know until we see it, right?
I mean, we all know how CG is with their words, but I mean, the Star Killer requirements were easier, and he counters Rey. Yep. That's everyone's mostly go-to for Rey. So I don't see why she won't. I don't know what she would stop, but I'm sure she'll have her guaranteed counter to one of the GLs.
Well, these are pricey requirements. I mean, asking anybody to just get 3 marquees out of the gate, all 3 to Relic 7, that ain't cheap. So are we thinking maybe end of December where this event's going to drop, or is this not drop until after the new year?
I think personally it's coming sort of Feb time. I think it's going to line up with the next set of Datacrons coming out, because we've just got this set, and I think they're going to have to wait. We don't even have Keller and Beck, right? It's not like He's not even this week. He's probably going to be next week when he comes. And usually, at least one of the characters is going to be free to play farmable, as in like on a hard node or whatever on Cantina. So I reckon Paz will go farmable, sort of early Jan or something like that. And then 2 weeks later, they'll be like, oh, Paz is coming in a week. Bo-Katan is coming in a week. I don't think we're seeing her this year. They haven't got enough time, man. They've got 2 weeks, and then they're going on holiday for 2 weeks. So I don't see it happening this year. I think it's going to be late Jan, early
Carthrick in the chat, first time chat. Thank you for coming by. Says the $1 million question: when does Bo come out? Like you just said, he said that SWGOH event seems to think she'll be here by Christmas. I don't know. I don't follow SWGOH events. I'm not sure what he means by that, but
So I could see that because Starkiller and Afra were both released like right before Christmas, I believe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So if they want to be historic, then I would say they would try to do the same thing.
And they didn't waste much time after they dropped the last marquee for either one of those events. They went, here you go, fuckers, pay or play.
Yeah. Good luck. But the difference is Starkiller was a permanently available event, right? And I don't think Bo-Katan is she?
No,
Isn't she going to be on rotation?
It's a different title of an event, remember? Isn't it like a gas
confrontation?
It's an epic confrontation, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if that's the case or not.
Well, so the last 2 epic confrontations were Gas and Malik, and they both were events that lasted for like a week.
2 days. I remember Malik was like 2 days, and I remember that it was over a weekend. It was like a Saturday Sunday thing, and I was so pissed because I actually had Darth Revan when he first came out, but I had no gear to qualify for the epic confrontation because it was like the first event where you needed like 11,500 galactic power on your characters to actually enter the event, and I had no gear. So and then he didn't come back for 165 fucking days. And I was like, you sons of bitches. Man, god damn.
Well, that's
I remember that. Malik is it's just like, it's not the same. It's just not the fucking same.
I think that took away a lot of the fun in SWGOH whenever they started putting minimums that you had to do. Because the coolest challenge from a player, but I loved watching content creators stream it. Like, what's the lowest you could go in and still beat it? And I always loved seeing that, and it's sad they started doing that. I understand why from a business perspective, but I feel like that was some of the most fun I had in the game, was doing the very least, and saying, you know what, I did the 3PO event with Ewok Scout and all Gear 11. And I did that. All Gear 11 characters.
You a masochist or something? Jesus Christ, man! Like, fuck me.
Glutton for punishment.
Well, I was free to play too, and I didn't have Wicket.
Soap in your eyeballs, just like, I mean,
it took me 3 times around. It wasn't worth it at all. I would have rather just done something else.
Yeah, like lick a battery, or I don't know, like anything else. And like that's still to this day, like it's a little bit different now because Nisa actually makes that event a complete fucking joke. Because I went in just for shits and giggles into the C3PO event with a Gear 11 Nisa with no mods, and I autoed it.
No shit.
And they're like Gear 11, Gear 12 Ewoks. Nisa just makes that event a complete joke. I was just like, oh, I guess Nisa's pretty good then.
I never thought about that, but I started an alt account not too long ago. I don't know why. I'm sadistic, like you said. And that might mean, because I want to go for Leia anyways early on, so I might just farm that early on too, because that was one of the worst events I've ever played in a video game. That and the Chewbacca event were just horrendous.
Oh man, yeah. I lucked out on the Chewbacca event because I didn't do that the first time round, and I think the second time round we had like Grief and Mando drop in the game, and that just made that event so much easier. Oh, was it Bosk?
Well, when it first came out, you didn't even have Bosk, because I also beat that with Boba Fett lead. Yeah, and then Boss came out, but it was going to take too long to farm him, and so I was still trying to beat it with Boba Fett lead, and I eventually did. But
I remember going in with like Gear 8 Grief and Mando, and I was like, wow, this is an easy event. But I remember when it first came out, watching all my friends play it, and they had much older accounts than me, and they were like, this event is fucking trash. And you had to watch the video of Han pressing the button on the elevator every single time you failed it. You had to go in and like,
oh my god, where's the button to cut the scene?
Yeah. Where's the skip button?
Yeah, well, I'm about to go do that now on both of them because I have all those characters. It'll be they're relic though. That takes the fun out of it as well. But maybe on my alt though. Maybe my alt.
Yeah, well, Nisa makes all the difference, man.
Yeah, he does. So the one thing that did happen while we were off is we had a raid go live. Now, I know we missed last week because of the holiday, so it's out. We've all had some time to fuck with it, play with it. Apparently, some people got sick, motion sickness, something to that effect, I heard. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad. That sucks. But so we got this raid. So let's go around the panel. Easy. Love it, hate it. Do you auto it or play it? Avant, let's start with you.
I won't go as far to say that I love it. I do like it. I enjoy it a little bit more than I enjoyed the crate raid. I manually play some of the battles, and then the other battles, I would say like 5 or 6 of the battles, I just auto them. But I manually do my GLA attack, and I manually did maybe my JML, or not JML, Jedi Knight Luke squad. There's like 2 or 3 squads that I manually attack with, and then everyone else I put in Rebel, a Trooper, and like another support character. I can't remember the exact mix, and then you just hit auto, and they just blow stuff up, and then you get a score, and you submit.
Okay.
What about you? What about you, Bones?
All right, here's my entire review. I think I've said this before. All right, so first of all, like the look of it, it's terrible. I think the crate is. I think the crate was really cool how it looked, and even the mechanics and stuff. Now I like it better than the crate because I don't have to do anything. I just click 3 characters, I put it on auto, I come back and do it again. As we've also found out, Avant, it's easier to get a higher score, and so better, more rewards, and we get to do it less than it. But then I'm thinking of all this, what I just said. So what's the fucking point in making this content at the same time? Now I agree with the rewards. Give it to me. I don't have to do anything for no rewards, but like I wish they would just put their focus on something in the game that's either like reworking territory wars or making a new mode that would be fun.
Mate.
You know, I wish they would put the, you know,
instead wish for Bones.
Right.
So long story short, I think it's better because I don't have to do anything and I get rewards for it. But I don't care. You know what I mean? It's cool. Whatever. It's rewards. What about you, Scribe?
I'm a little bit undecided at the minute as far as the new speeder bike raid goes. I think there's some things that are good. There are some things that are bad. Like building off what they did in the crate raid. What I disliked about the crate raid was some of the mechanics were just fucking dumb. Like, you know how you would have certain abilities unlock as you go up higher in tiers? So like, you know, I think it's Old Republic gets something when you take them all to Relic 7. Might even be Relic 8. Can't remember. Additional damage or whatever. So objectively, if you had like a full team of Relic 7 Old Republic, but you took them in at a lower tier, they would perform worse for no other reason than you were at a lower tier. And that shit doesn't make sense to me. That's fucking dumb. Right? It's just like an arbitrary, you know, because you're going in at this tier, you get this bonus. I'm glad they did away with that shit. So, you know, the investment that you put in your team pays off, right? That thing is good. What I don't like about it is, like you said, there's absolutely no fucking spectacle in this raid. Who gives a shit if we are racing through a forest killing unknown scout troopers? That's not a raid, man. A raid is killing the Sith Triumvirate. It's killing a crate dragon. It's going up against the Rancor. That shit's cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Fucking nameless scout troopers, how are we supposed to get excited about that? It's like, it's boring, right? But
and those sexy ass Ewoks, man, those fucking sexy ass Ewoks, though.
They cracked their way onto the screens in a big way, man. I'm sure somebody at CG has got a bit of a furry fetish or something going on because damn, son.
I knew at some point this shit was going to get brought up. I knew it.
It had to
I
be.
Knew it was coming. Knew it was coming.
Other than that, you know, the fact that they addressed the real burnout that you got with crate, how you're doing it every 3 days. I much prefer the fact that now it's once every 6 days. You attack once in a 3-day period. Totally fine with that. Cool, love it. I think it's still going to get boring after a while, but I'm okay with it. At least the best thing I can say about it is when you do it, it's fucking quick. Like battles are like a minute and a half. You just go through, you're like, click, 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 done. Good or bad, good run, bad run. At least it's only a minute and a fucking half. It's not like when you go in with Mole Mandos against the Great Dragon Raid and you spend 3 minutes building up to the end and then the fucker eats Mole and you're like, you son of a bitch. And then you restart. So, and there's no real RNG in it either. It's it's very, very set in stone. So I like some things about it. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it in 4 months' time. Yeah.
It's. I think this new raid for me, in a way, has been a learning tool because now I'm looking at it and no, I'm not going to relic up my Mandos all to Relic 8 and relic up my now use. Although I am kind of looking forward to fucking around with the Jawa Crown this time around because I do have Relic Jawas. So we'll see how that works out. It probably is going to end miserably. But with this raid, I feel like, it was basically really Rebels and Empire. And a lot of players are going to have depth in those two factions. So this is player friendly. I do like the speed of it. But I do have to agree with Scribe. When you think of a raid, you're thinking of something epic. You're thinking of some epic moment. Like a Sarlacc raid, or something.
Hell yeah.
Like I know a lot of people have said the Death Star raid. So really, you're just on a hovering Harley going through a redwood forest, and you're shooting scout troopers. That's basically pew pew pew.
Well, some of the most memorable times in this game is when I've overcome each new raid for the first time with my guild. Like, that's just for me. That's some of the best times. Like, you guys probably fail at it, several times, and you waste your tickets, and you got to do it again. But when you finally get it down, and usually the first time you barely get it, and usually after that it's even easier. But it feels good. It's one of the most feel good moments for me in the game. Where it's the raid. I don't like the new raid thing. I wish they would just stick to the old thing. They killed
that hype, right?
Yeah.
They've definitely killed that hype because, with the Rancor had it to a certain degree because that was multi-phase and you had to work as a team to bring down each phase, right? But when it came to the Rancor, the Great Dragon Raid, if you completed a run, you killed the dragon, right? Like the crate is dead, but then it's like, oh, so now I can do it 4 more times. So it makes it feel like there's no payoff. It's like you killed it, cool, but now it's also still alive for you and for everybody else, and you can kill it 4 more times. And it's like, I want to feel that little bit of accomplishment, right?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah, it's like you beat a big boss. At the end of the boss, he dies.
But the speeder bike raid feels like a fucking Atari game. It doesn't end.
It's just a high score.
It's an endless forest until you die.
Or it does end if you max the score out.
Well,
kind of.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I think CG took a really big leap, trying something completely new. So I won't criticize them for trying something new because they can just keep rinsing and repeating and giving us the same thing over and over again, right? So I think it's bold and kind of brave to do something new, and I can appreciate that. The thing that I appreciate the most is the accessibility of characters. So my guild is 420 million GP. When the crate came out, we were like 385 probably, and we would score like 55 million, 60 million. And we knew that there was like a large gap to get to that next 90 million box. And that the raid was going to be shelved. So I could score a lot, but then there are a lot of players in our guild who are like, well, I'm not going to put relics into Mandos and Tuscans because the raid's going to be gone. And so now just from like a base level, my guild was earning 750 of the guild 3 currency from the crate. And then this past raid, if you do the conversion, right, it happens half as many times. So that would net us 1,500 of the Guild 3 currency from the crate. We earned 3,000 Guild 3 currency with this last speeder bike raid. So we have doubled our rewards, which is like insane. That's so good. So it's more accessible because people have more of the players and the teams.
And that's just to riff off what you're saying there, is conversely, my guild had the opposite problem. And that transition from crate to this new raid, the Endor speeder bike raid, we were hitting the 265 in crate, right? But we can't hit just yet. We're a little bit shy of the 424 million box. And that means we're actually down about 700 Mark III a week. Because if there was like a box in between there, we would probably be up. But as soon as we hit that 424, we're going to be up by about 500-600 a week, right? So that is a little bit frustrating. But I do agree that this has really helped those guilds that weren't hitting that 130 or that 265 mil box in crate, because that 208 is super accessible, and even the ones below it, super accessible. So many characters that are from like old legendary farms, and if you are going for layer, which they gave people a massive fucking lift up with all the additive drops and the double drops and all that shit,
Right. Yeah.
and all of Layer's characters more or less can be used in this new raid. It's so like it's strange. It's like CG are being kind to the player base. It's crazy. So like, hats off to them. It is very accessible, and I think it's probably something we can expect to see in future raids, because they want to encourage people to engage in the new shit. So we'll get a new GL, and they'll be pushing. Maybe they won't do quite the same additive drops, but it will be something along those lines of all the requirements for the GL will apply in this new raid that we're building. Go out and enjoy, sort of thing. So that's cool. I like it.
Scribe, why are they being so nice to us, man? Every week I'm trying to figure out why they're being so nice.
Oh, here we go.
You're like, well, I tell you why, buddy. I'll tell you why. Because the latest rumors, right? You heard about they're threatening to remove crystals apparently from Fleet Arena, and you were talking about, you were saying earlier, man, about what if they rework Territory Wars. If that's where those crystals are going, and you can expect to see leagues and divisions just like GAC for Territory Wars, now everybody's going to have to get super sweaty about TW if you want to have those crystals. Now, this is speculation and rumor. Don't take it, take it with like a large fistful of salt. But that's latest whispers.
I was born with a aluminum foil hat on, so I'm always trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Your poor mother, that must have been painful, man.
It was. She hated me for the rest of my life. That's interesting you said that, though, because in my eyes that would take away a lot of the meaning for ships. Anyways, I understand from Grand Arena
100%,
but the main reason I tell people to go for ships at all is to get those crystals, so that would definitely be interesting.
I mean, it's absolutely true, but they could still do it regardless, right? Because people are not going to give up on Fleet, because it's such a huge source of Zeta income as well. Like, if you're getting first in Fleet, that's basically a Zeta a day. And that's kind of huge, especially with the characters we're getting are almost always 2 or 3 Zeta characters at this point. You need to keep on top. For the first time in forever, after I unlocked Leia, I ran out of Zeta mats. I was like, wow.
See,
but that's what happens.
It's not just me. It's not just me giving a bunch of shit. Why are you so Zeta poor? And I was like, dude, I'm telling you, it's becoming a thing.
Well, so to Scribe's point, I have been number 1 in Fleet Arena since the Millennium Falcon dropped, which is why I am not Zeta poor. I rode that wave on the crest, and I am still on the crest. Thank God.
But when you're a whale, you constantly have something to Zeta. When you're free to play, that's spaced out a lot more, and it gives you more time to accumulate that stuff. And I always have plenty of Zetas.
I'm sitting on 3 Zetas and 3 Omicrons. So Keller and Beck better be like the next Jesus when it comes to saving shitty Jedi. Because if he's not getting a Zeta. He will go to Relic 7 because I got to put him there. But he's not getting shit because it's being... Cause Bo's probably going to have 3 Zetas, 3 Omicrons. Again, 3 Zetas, 3 Omicrons.
If he's like half the man Jar Jar Binks is, I think he'll live up to that.
You may not need all 3 Omicrons. I mean, for Christ's sakes, I've gone through my entire time playing this game with Starkiller having 1.
Oh, my poor boy Starkiller.
Yeah, you gotta show that guy some love, man. Give him 2.
He would be like. I agree. He doesn't actually need 3, but fuck it. I put all 3 on him. I was like, yes, there you go, good boy, pat.
Yep.
He deserved it. He earned those 3 armies.
The completionist in me wants to do that.
Say, Bob, when we just heard what Scribe did there, Avant or Bob, have you guys any of these characters that you saw 3 armies and said, fuck it, taking the plunge and dropping all 3?
Malgus. I didn't do it on Starkiller, but I was so excited about Malgus, and we all thought he was going to be a badass. So I think I had 2 saved, and I had to do another 3. I feel like I just did that with someone else. Was there another?
Malicos?
Yes, Malicos. I just did that with him as well. I was like, fuck yeah, he's getting 3 as well. I didn't even know who the hell the guy was. He just looked awesome, sounded awesome, and
he's a cool character. In the
fucking terrifying.
Fallen Order and in
boss, and that fucking
Fallen Order, wasn't it? Yeah.
Jesus Christ, what a pain in the ass beating him was.
To answer your question, I have 0 characters with 3 Omicrons.
Well,
I spread them out.
That there you go.
Always
I
have to
mean, I
kill
don't
him
know if
with
that's
Avant.
the right thing to do, but that's how I live my life.
Yeah,
I did do Malgus. I did do Ben Solo. I would have done Malicos, but I was 4 short of the 3rd, so I couldn't give it to him. But I mean, again, like what Scribe said earlier, I'm going to be paying very close attention to what these Omicrons say on the new Bo-Katan. I might wait a little bit, see what other content creators like Scribe come up with, or whomever else, and be like, you don't need all 3, and I'll go, okay, there we go. So I can put that Delta. I did give Scout Trooper his.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought it up because you drunkenly did it that night on stream.
Was that like an accidental drunken thing, or was it a deliberate drunken thing?
I was kind of half in the bag, and I had one of those moments where I went, you know what, fuck it, I'm giving him this Omicron right now, and I did it.
Yeah, just like, now I can get 300,000 more points with him.
Literally, that's all you're getting.
That also reminds me, Logan, I need to go back and clip your GAC stream where your C got blasted by Hondo.
Oh yeah. He one shot his ass. That was a crazy.
Hondo is terrifying, man. He actually is terrifying. He just sort of sits there, and then eventually just
Can you also clip my Leia counter where the thermal detonators killed all 5 of them?
No, we can't do that.
in the GL?
If it was good, if it was positive, no.
Yes, I'm only going to clip things.
I don't think it was all 5. I think one person was left, but no, it's that new Bushkron. I got it, tried it out on GAC, and I think at one point Leia had 80 or 90 thermals on her.
Oh my god, yeah, it was a lot.
My last
and then I threw her big one, and it went boom, and like four rebels just dropped, including Leia, and I went, oh, well, that works.
My last GAC, you guys talked me into keeping Malicos for Lord Vader, but I ended up taking the Vader out with like bounty hunters or something, and Reva was on defense, and I didn't have, for some reason I couldn't use Traya. I remember, so I tried Malicos, and dude, he threw those rocks and deleted all 5 of them instantly. It was some of the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
When you see it.
Yeah, it was
just like
you're going to see some interesting counters with Scoundrels trying to go up against Lord Vader, I think, in this set.
Mm-hmm.
There are some interesting combinations and things that I've looked at for this. And again, I know Bob's favorite fucking topic, Datacrons. But, I mean, again, the Scoundrel faction is the biggest faction in the game, and some of the abilities they gave them are not bad. Now, let's be 100% real. These are the shittiest fucking secondaries we have ever seen in the history of Datacron. Scribe, you think? What I was going to say, do you agree with that?
No, I think they're fucking trash, man. Like, it's one thing to have the low values because they're much lower than what we've typically been used to. But then you also split them, so you've got like fucking, armor penetration and you've got resistance penetration. So you've just doubled your odds, or like half the benefit half the time. You're like, well, fuck, I need resistance pen. It's just like, it's nothing to get excited about, especially when you look back and you think, oh yeah, I could have had 400% fucking defense Or now I can have like 120 resistance pen if I'm lucky enough to land it that many times on the Datacron.
I've never heard of resistance penetration in this game. Is that helping potency?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
No, it's special. It's special attackers. So it's like, if you do physical damage, you need armor not physical. Hang on, I'm getting confused.
Physical for armor.
Armor penetration is physical, and resistance penetration is for special attackers. So if you would like do Fennec bounty hunters against Lord Vader, you want resistance penetration, right? Okay. If you've got Starkiller, you want armor penetration because he's a physical attacker.
Right.
Yep. But before, in the past, we've had defense penetration, which is both. Like, fucking give me both. Don't make me split and choose. It just makes it not fun. And like I said, the values are lower than normal as well.
Don't get me started with fucking accuracy, though. Just take that out if you're going to do all that other shit.
Hell yeah.
Take accuracy.
GMK needs it so bad.
For the A2, man. That A2.
Yeah, I think with that too, you can really ignore the secondaries. I mean, you're going to want armor pen. That's always nice, but that's like the only secondary that's worth a damn from what I've been seeing. But again, the abilities. I mean, Afra is going to be Afra is going to be what Afra should have been, and we got that boosh counter for the Toxic Leia team. Has anybody seen if that's working on any other variations of her team, or is that only the Toxic Squad? Because you have to focus down Leia out of the gate.
I haven't looked into it just yet. I've just heard it just decimates. I've heard it just walks through it like butter. But
you can hit auto and pretty much walk away.
Yeah. I'm yet to build mine currently. I got completely screwed when I was re-rolling my Datacrons yesterday. 6 times I re-rolled that level 6 ability when it was on Scoundrels, and not once did I get the DI one. I was like, you fucks. I was not happy.
Which one were you trying to get? The DI one? Which one was that?
The Hut Cartel DI one for Bausch. That's the one that gives all the extra TM and the abilities. Like
something I'll do is when you roll your level 6, if you get a Hut Cartel one that you like, if you get a Hut Cartel ability and that's what you're going for, but you don't get the one that you really wanted, I'll roll it up to level 9.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you want to lock into level 9 so you can't get the other faction. Yeah, for sure.
Get your character that you want and then re-roll your 6. That way you're like better chance of just getting. That way you're only getting Hut Cartel abilities and you're not like splitting it between the other faction. Because
I did that. I think I got Santis at the level 9, which is not ideal, but I wanted to lock in the Hut Cartel faction. So.
I had to re-roll quite a few times just to get Boosh. I kept getting Gamorrean Guard and this other shit. I'm like on my 3rd roll, I'm like, oh,
Gammo.
Come on.
How are you guys rolling already? I haven't even got through Sector 3 of Conquest. How are you guys already?
I'm finished.
You're finished. You're red crated?
Well, I'm not finished. I've not red boxed, but I've done all of Sector 5.
I'm through Sector 5. I'm Datacron building at this point. I'm on 7 or 8 level 9s at this point.
Damn.
I'm just farming Datacrons too. I mean, I'm still farming global feats and shit like that. I haven't completed all the sector feats, but I've got my data disk setup all built out so that basically you can win with anything. And I'm just going to be farming bonus nodes and getting the feats done passively. And we've got 3v3 sign up Tuesday, so I want to try and build out some Datacrons by then. But I do six refreshes a day on Conquest, and big people do more than that. So that's usually how I get through it quickly. I'm
sitting here saying, "How did you do that?" I'm thinking, I think I forgot to do it today. That might be why.
I didn't play it. Yeah. What you got to do, man, is you got to play Conquest. I know it's fucking annoying, but once you get through it, you could just auto it at the end, and that's always nice.
Speaking of Conquest, this is it. This is the last one before our
hell yeah.
New shiny Beskar armor Moff Gideon. So let's switch up the topics real quick and give this guy another gander. We're not going to obviously read the kit again. We did that, but what do we all think about this? The Omicrons are all TW. I don't know how many people put Omicrons on TW tunes, but is this something that you're going to put gear in and put to relics immediately, or are you going to wait for some footage, or are you just not interested?
I mean, Bob. We don't even do.
Or no, Avant, go ahead. You started.
I mean, I'm gonna take him up to relics. I'm probably not gonna bump him to relic 7, but I'm gonna make sure I have enough gear to take him up. You only need what is it? 3 Cairo pieces plus the finisher for him. So 150 of the battle computers and 250 shock prods. So it's not like 6 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm going to take him to relics. I don't know how great he's going to be without his TW armies, but we'll see.
Oh, Bodie just said 3 Scoundrels. Don't forget, next conquest starts on to December 25th. Happy Christmas. Son of a bitch, really.
It's like last year, didn't they have a TW on Christmas? Like, so, guys, who's going to fucking play TW on Christmas Day? I think I signed up and played, but
You bastards.
I have issues.
Yeah, same.
Bob, what do you think of what do you think of this tune?
I have not even tried that hard. I've gotten like a gold crate and like I think it was only 2 times. Maybe I got it 3 times. I don't know, something was going on the first time. I haven't even tried, so it's going to be a while before I even get him. I don't care. Like you said, he's TW. I don't ever plan on putting Omicrons on a TW character unless they make me do it, like Scribe was saying, until they start making me feel like I need to. So I don't give a shit. It's going to be a long time before as far as where I'm at. Yeah, it'll be a long time before I even have him unlocked.
Scribe, what about you?
I'll get the unlock for sure. You know, I've been red boxing. I refuse to not red box Conquest. It's like a. I mean, I do videos on guides on how to do it, right? So it's in my interest to be red boxing all the time anyway. I will relic him probably straight away. I'm not throwing on TW Omicrons because my guild currently is not like super sweaty TW. If they were to be, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll consider it. Yeah, sure, why not? If it happens to be good, I'm sure his TW Omicrons will be good. It just makes me a little bit nervous that outside TW he's just going to feel like shit, because you look at things like, you know, Dadbod Boba. It's not that he's bad. He's not bad, but he's not fucking good either. It's like, you know, inside TW, he does shit if you've got his TW Omicrons. But you take him outside of TW without the Omicrons, and all of a sudden he's kind of like, well, maybe if I need a filler bounty hunter, I can throw him in. And that's about the extent of his use. Trench is another example. Trench does actually do some good shit outside of TW, but it's not like he's the first thing that comes to your mind to use. He's good at clearing up GLs after you've taken out a couple of things, if you happen to have dropped battles on GLs in GAC and shit like that. He's great in TW with the Omicron, but that's not where I'm going to put my investment. So it makes me a little bit scared. I'm hoping they get the balance right this time, that he has good use outside of that game mode, because, you know, his Conquest character, they're usually pretty good. So I'll take the gamble. I did it with Trench. I took Trench to R7, so I'll do it with this guy too.
When we did the kit breakdown for this tune, correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, but isn't for TW he's going to have like a completely different team comp than he would anywhere else? Like, wasn't there a clause in his kit that outside of TW he worked really well with troopers and?
I'm trying to remember. I think it's like Imperial Remnant.
Remnant
is his
and
TW
Mandos.
focus.
I feel like Mandos was a team, and then Imperial Remnant was one.
Yeah, he's supposed to be good in TW with Mandos, I think.
All right, okay. Like Darkside Mandos, I would assume. I mean, that shit's fire. With ISC operating the way he is, it's going to be nutty, dude. But yeah, I know he's like, I imagine, if nothing else outside of TW, he'd probably still make a good tank for Lord Vader. He's still got the Empire tag, hasn't he? At least I think he's got Empire. I hope he has. Okay, yeah. Struggling to remember his kit, to be honest with you.
Me as well.
I mean,
that was a while. I mean, it was months ago.
Usually, if I put the time into getting a Conquest tune, or whenever I do, I usually take him to R7. I'm not as hardcore as you guys are, but it just seems like it's something you should do, is R7 then. So that's probably what I'll do when I get him. Unless he just sucks ass, then I won't even relic him at all.
Well, a lot of people are building up their Imperial troopers anyway because of this new raid. So I feel like he's gonna have a home regardless.
Yeah.
So why not? And you guarantee he's going to get a fucking Datacron. So, and the Datacron at least will be very good for 4 months. So if you care about that shit, I guess.
No, in all TW, I was wrong. It does. It focuses on all Imperial Remnant. So yeah, and
Okay.
just doing a quick glance, yeah, in TW, he's got a mass revive. I remember that now. So he's got some nasty shit. But yeah, I mean, if he gets a Datacron, that's going to settle his issues for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, he's bound to have a Datacron, and that's where I think we'll also see the new Bo-Katan Datacron come into play. So we'll have Mandalorian Darkside and Mandalorian Lightside Datacron to go with new Bo-Katan Mandalore. That's how I think it's gonna shake out.
That actually sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, that actually does, and that's
Mando v. Mando.
Very reasonable. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember the old spam Datacron where his whistling birds was doing fucking nutty damage?
Yeah,
that shit was so cool. That was the same one as the was that the dash one as well that gave him the bonus turns every time an opponent took a turn? God damn.
every time someone took a turn, Dash got a bonus turn. So he was just constantly just spraying across. And you're like, oh my god, can I please get a turn?
The old tickling birds.
Yeah. It's Afrocron. If you get the right, I think it was the right level 6, and of course Afra and Relic 9 on this set, the amount of turns she's going to be taking is going to be absolutely obscene.
I rolled that Kron the other day, and I cannot wait. Level 6 bonus turn and the Afro ability on level 9. She's just going to keep going and going and going. You're never going to get a turn.
Yeah,
you're going to need to CLS Han Chewie her to kill her probably if you put her on defense.
I think the utility of her on. I don't know if I can put her on defense. Just put the utility she potentially could have on offense.
The only way you put her on defense is if your opponent puts Toxic Leia as a team and splits up the CLS team, because I think CLS is like the best counter to her, because I really think that some of the GLs, she might beat them.
Well, you know what? It's funny that you say that, because now more than ever, I think in this set, you're going to be seeing a lot more people scouting their opponent, because with this Boushkron, no one is going to put their harder new toxic investment on defense and let their opponent get max banners on it.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to be looking.
For sure. It's going to be weird, man, because it feels like Leia and Jabba are such staple defensive GLs for GAC. And now, if you've got, if you or the opponent has got the Boushkron, you feel like you're not going to see either Jabba or Leia on defense anymore. Because it's like, what's the point?
They're just going to
take Jabba for offense, and you take Leia. Like, Leia's just going to fall apart. I mean, so many people have now got bloody Jedi Knight Cal as well, that he handles Leia very, very easily, I feel. Even the toxic comp, I've yet to lose with Jedi Knight Cal JML.
I struggle with that fight. I still struggle with that one.
I usually find it okay.
That's why I went for the Boushkron so hard. I'm like, well, fuck.
I mean, the Boushkron does piss all over it, to be fair. It's a much safer comp. But it just makes me think, right? Like, I'm not the kind of guy when it comes to GAC that sets a light defense. I never have been. I'm usually like a 70% heavy defense, 30% offense, and try and hope that I don't fuck up my soft counters, which doesn't always work in my favor. So the idea of me taking Jabba and Leia off defense, I feel like I've all of a sudden got to put stuff on defense again. And I'm like, well, what do I move JML to defense? Do I start putting C on defense again? I don't fucking know. I think we're going to see some weird GACs coming forward. Unless everybody just goes full offense.
It's also 3v3.
I forgot about that. Ugh.
Yeah, I did forget about that. Shit.
It does. It makes you wonder. I mean, Scribe's right. You got Leia and Jabba, and normally you would see those on D, but this set and just some of the off counters that are coming in is going to make the board interesting. And I mean, I'm probably going to be putting my Rey back on defense. I had her on offense, but we will. And I was putting Jedi Master Kenobi on defense, so we will. And 3v3. For fuck's sake.
Have we had a 3v3 with Leia yet?
Yeah, once.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember the what is it, Slacker Malicos counter to Leia. That was, I mean, it's really banner inefficient, but it was at least it was like the counter that was discovered during that first 3v3 with Leia, wasn't it? So one of the few things that dealt with Leia at the time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm just the cupbearer of Kyber 2 right now. I haven't dealt with that yet. It's my first 3v3 in Kyber 2, so we'll see.
Kyber 2 is fucking massive. This is the weirdest thing about Kyber 2, man. Like, because Kyber 1 is like 1,200 players or so, 1,400 players. It's a really competitive bracket, right? But then you go to Kyber 2 and it's like 10,000 players in Kyber 2. So it means the top end of Kyber 2 and the bottom end of Kyber 2 is worlds apart in difficulty.
Yeah.
Like, it just boggles my mind that, you know, the level of competitiveness at the bottom end of Kyber 2 is so vastly different to the top end, but the reward structure is exactly the same. It's like, I'm working so much harder and I'm not getting better rewards. Although I do tend to flip between Kyber 1 and Kyber 2. It's just
same.
Feels like it needs a bit of a shake-up, you know?
It's funny you say that because I have a buddy who's also from down under. He has an 11.5 million account, and he lets me use it on Grand Arena and make my streams a little more entertaining. But I'm on the, like you just said, I'm on the bottom of Kyber 2, and then with that account, I'm on the top of Kyber 2. You know what I mean? I went 3-0 on my 9.4 million account, but went 1-2 with the 11.5, but we're still in Kyber 2. You know, it was strange. But I know what you mean by that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got some friends that are at the bottom of Kyber 2, and I'm like, wow, sometimes you don't even fucking see datacrons, man. What's that like? Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, people are getting stuck on my defenses. Like on 9.4 million, I have 1 GL on defense in Malicos and like Malgus, and people are getting stuck on my Akbars and shit. And they have 7 and 8 GLs. They have Leia, dude. They put Leia on defense with 8 GLs, and I'm beating them. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Props to you.
Every now and again in Kyber 1, you'll bump into a player that gets the datacrons that he's hunting for. He doesn't, you know, he or she does not go into or do what I do, which is just go into complete excess where, I don't know, I feel like the more level 9s you have, the better chance you have, the more you can manipulate secondaries, the more you can try different things. It's more tools in the toolbox. But yeah, in Kyber 1, every now and again, I'll see somebody that will just have what they need, and that's it. But, I mean, Kyber 2, and you're not really facing any, I mean, fuck, dude, that must be nice. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Come join me, man. It's good. It's good down here. I'll pour you a cup of wine. We can sit on the yacht for a while. Talk some shit, man.
I pretty consistently stay in Kyber 1. I accept my fate. I don't like losing a GAC like anybody else. It gets frustrating.
And that sounded kind of weird. I wasn't coming on to you or anything. I'm just...
I mean, I think you were. That's exactly how it came in my ears, man.
I got a little weirded out with a glass of wine. If he offered me cheese, I'd start...
Okay, listen. The reason I keep saying that is because before I was the king of Kyber 3. Because I'd always win in Kyber 3 and go up from Kyber 2 and lose and go to Kyber 3 and just keep winning in Kyber 3, but never win in Kyber 2. So I was the king of Kyber 3 and I was the jester of Kyber 2. But now that I'm winning in Kyber 2 and staying there, I'm now the cupbearer. So that's why I would pour you some wine if you came down here. I'm the cupbearer of Kyber 2.
I think you're
I like your thought, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you expected any of us to pick up on that fucking hierarchy of social standing. Wow, that's why he's the cupbearer, of course. And next he's going to be the aide to the king.
I have a long ways to go, but we'll get there.
I think you really pulled that out of your ass to save face. I think that's what you
But
like.
the cupbearer
caught yourself and went, "Oh shit! I just came on to him, didn't I?"
Yeah, you caught me. So I had to come up quickly with a hierarchy of how things work, and I did all that in a couple minutes. You are one sexy man.
Speaking of GAC, how did everybody's 5v5 go? And are you looking forward to 3v3? And are you going to try anything different?
Should I start?
Shoot.
Yeah, I was 5-4, and I finished my last match my win got me into Kyber 1. So I am sitting at the very bottom of Kyber 1 right now. I am excited about 3v3. I have my Africron. I'm trying to get my Bushcron before 3v3 starts. I only do 3 refreshes for Conquest, but I might bump it up just to like rush it a little bit so I can get that Datacron because I really, really, really want it.
You got time. You got some days left.
Yeah, I know.
Is there anything that you guys are worried about in 3v3? Avant?
Leia.
Is she worse in 3v3 or 5v5?
Well, the thing that worries me is that we came up with these thoughtful counters and they're for 5v5, and I don't know that people have tested them in 3v3. So we don't know if this Boosh Datacron is going to work in 3v3.
Yeah.
Well, that too. And we also
this week, it's just a shit show, man. It's just a fucking shit show.
We don't know what the comp for Leia in 3v3 is going to be, because if you just bring Han and Drogon, Chewie's not there to give guard, and then you're not getting all those extra bonus attacks. So what's the point? So
I think it's R2 and Drogon.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but the Bushcron is still gonna beat it.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Well, again, it should beat it theoretically, I guess.
Do you think there's an easier team in 3v3? Is Cal still going to be the go-to, or we're all going to do Jabba?
I'm not even sure, to be honest. Like, there are options for 3v3 Leia. You know, like I said, if you can do it with Slacker and Malicos, you can do it with JML, JMK, JK, Jedi Knight Cal, and potentially also with Bausch. There's 3 options for GL Leia. But again, it comes down to, are we even going to see her on defense at the minute? That's the bit that's going to get... I hate the first week of 3v3 when it comes back. I'm like a deer in the headlights. I'm like, what the fuck do I even do in 3v3? Can anybody remember? Like, how does this game mode work? I hate the first week. Same. It always goes to shit.
Yeah, I'm always rusty. It takes me about 2 weeks. I'm a slow learner. But and then right whenever I get into like the groove of things, I start winning. It's over, and it's time for 5v5 again.
Well, it's like, CG had said, Leia is going to be an offensive GL, not so much viable on defense. Bull fucking shit, dude. Bullshit.
It's weird that CG's inner monologue to you is Patrick Mahomes.
I know, right?
I think it's Kermit the Frog. As much as you love Pat Mahomes, that was more Kermit-y to me.
I think
that was the joke.
Sounds like Kermit the Frog.
That was the joke because it sounded nothing like Patrick Mahomes. That was the joke. Do you watch football, Scribe? I know you're.
God, no.
You should, man. You're missing out.
Like American football, yeah? Because I'm a Brit, so football is a different thing over here.
Yep, very different thing.
Yeah, I just don't know how it is like overseas. Like, I don't know if anyone follows that kind of stuff or if they give a shit.
I think it's gained popularity in recent years, but it was never a big thing out in at least not in the UK. Like, people know what it is, obviously, but it's from what I understand, because I don't even understand really, it's like the Super Bowl is like a big fucking thing for you guys, right? That's kind of like
it's almost like a holiday. It's a big deal.
Like Thanksgiving. It's where you get together with a lot of people and you eat food that's bad for you.
And it doesn't.
That sounds like a great time. But
and people who don't even watch football will gather around for it. It's this family affair.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, that's not really a thing. I follow the closest thing that I watch to that is the British equivalent, which would be rugby. So I watch rugby. I like rugby.
Which is much tougher, probably. I'm sure it's a lot harder to do.
It's different. I'd say, like, there's a lot of the same sort of things. There's none of the padding, but the hits aren't as big. Like, you don't have stupid people going headfirst into tackles. There's a lot of rules around safe tackling. But at the same vein, it's also, like, from what I understand about American football, is like you've got an offensive team and a defensive team, and then you have plays and breaks and plays and breaks. Whereas rugby is kind of like it's 2 halves of 40 minutes. You don't fucking stop. You've got like 5 subs. That's it. There's no such thing as an offensive. So there's a lot more cardio involved in it because people are fucking running at each other and tackling each other for 40 solid minutes each half, right?
Yep.
So I think it's a little bit. I wouldn't say it's harder necessarily. I just say it's different, slightly different. But
man,
it gets me fired up, man.
Scary looking motherfuckers, right there. Ever
So-
seen a rugby team? Those guys are mean looking.
It is fun to watch. I've watched a couple rugby matches when I was in college. Pretty interesting.
I'm more of a curler.
I don't understand the fucking rule. A curler, did you say?
I'm more of a curling kind of guy. I used to like turn my nose up to soccer or whatever. I was like, oh, they just run around and kick a ball. Until I worked at a Mexican restaurant and a bunch of Mexican people afterwards. We were playing, and we played for like 45 minutes, and I had never been so tired in my life. And so after that, I have like so much respect for like professionals or whatever, because I was on the ground for 30 minutes gasping for breath. And that was when I actually was in somewhat kind of, I could actually do stuff like that. That was probably 15 years ago. But yeah.
So is there anything else in 3v3 that we wanted to cover? Anything other teams scares you? Anything you want to try on defense? Anything
I don't really know, man. I'm throwing Ray back on defense for threes. She used to be the queen of 3v3 defense, right? Like she was a nightmare. I'm hoping she can get some holds because I need something. I need some heavy defensive teams to play with. I don't know what. That's Scoundrels. I know you were talking about it earlier, but some of the Scoundrel crons are pretty fucking cool. And the 100% turn meter on basic for Scoundrels is.
Oh yeah.
I think that one's got a lot of potential. Obviously, it's got potential with like Han and Chewie and stuff because, like, you start with a bonus turn on Han. That's a basic. He gets a bonus turn from that. Well, gets 100% turn meter. Then you'll do the stun. He gets another turn. Fucking, that's going to be fun because the damage output out the gate is going to be cool. But like you said, the Scoundrel faction is huge. A lot of teams could make use of bonus turn or it's not a bonus turn, 100% turn meter on a basic. So I think there'll be some fun things to play around with that. So. Yeah,
no, absolutely.
Cool
And because it's such a big faction. I mean, some of the ones that stand out to me is, it's going to make Hondo very interesting.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Enfree's Nest, and again, things like this. You slap this on.
What was that again? Say her name.
Nest.
The first name, the first part.
No, I don't remember what it was. No, you're not getting me again, Bob.
Enfys.
Can I hit you with some? Can I hit you with some knowledge about Enfys Nest?
Thank you, Enfys Nest. Yeah, there it is. There,
It's,
Bob. I said it. Yeah.
You see this right here? This right here. This is my Rugby World Cup jumper that I wear, and it is for the WRU, which is the Welsh Rugby Union, because I'm Welsh, right? So Enfys is a Welsh word. It means rainbow.
Really?
So it's actually pronounced Envis, not Enfys. It's more like a V. But Americans not going to pronounce it that way. Yeah, but it's the Welsh word for rainbow. That is kind of cool.
So what does nest mean?
That's some
in Welsh?
knowledge of the day. It's not a word. I mean, you can actually say nest in Welsh, and that means I did. So it's the rainbow I did. I did a rainbow.
That's interesting. I'll never think of her name the same ever again.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. I knew a woman, actually, one of my friends when I was growing up, his mother was called Envis. So, yeah.
What a beautiful name.
Cool times.
Yeah.
I do definitely think that this Kron is going to make that bounty hunter / scoundrel counter a little more effective.
But Lord Vader.
What's that?
I've been pulling it off with Thrawn and Maul in there. I've been doing it lately. Everyone's like, don't do it. Don't even think about it. But I've been thinking about it, and I've been doing it. And I've been pulling it off, actually. So I don't know if it's just...
I don't like it in threes, but in 5v5, there's a lot more leeway. In threes, it's like if Thrawn fractures Beskar Mando, like you just die. Like, you're dead. If the comp is Lord Vader, Thrawn, Maul, if Thrawn fractures Bam, yes, like you could say goodbye to your team. You're just dead. So okay, cool. And that's like a 50% chance of happening. So
I think the one team I'm unsure about is I don't know if I want to put Malicos on offense or defense yet.
Yeah,
I had them for offense all of 5v5.
I will say in 3v3 that team is more vulnerable because you have Seer, Malicos, and then you really need to put not Jedi Cal, Baby Cal, original Cal in there. Because if you don't, then the protection up that Cal gives is really good, but then you have no tank. So it's easier to pick that team apart because you really need 4 solid characters. You need Seer, Cal, Malicos, and a tank. So it's a little bit easier to pick it apart. You can Gidmay it. I've done that a couple times.
That's true. That goddamn counter.
It's so good.
It really is. And when it works, it's fun to watch. But when you're on the receiving end, you're like, God damn it.
I actually I built my Malicos to trap Gidmay teams in 5v5, and that was so much fun. Like I changed the modding up on Malicos to make him fast. Obviously, you're not going to outspeed Gideon, right? Like Gideon has got stupidly high base speed.
Yeah.
But if you can risk it for a biscuit and throw your Star Killer on the team, and Star Killer is passing 70 speed to your Malicos, then you can take your turns before the Gideon goes, provided you've got about 300 plus speed on your Malicos. So they'll take it, if they don't check the mods and they just fucking go in, they'd lose their entire team before they take a turn, and it's preloaded. And it caught like 5 people off in 5v5 a couple of weeks back. I was like, yeah, beautiful. But then people just started GLing it, and then it wasn't worth it because you've lost your Star Killer and a Malicos team. And you're like, okay, it might be not worth it, but I do agree, though. Like in 3s, you're missing a key component to that team.
So I'm an idiot when it comes to these games. I'm just here for the comedic value. So would you say it's safe to
laughing at you or with you?
It's usually at me. Hopefully with me, but you never know. But so would it say you want to keep, because I have Malicos pimped out pretty well. Do I want to save him for offense then on 3v3?
I think I will. Just to give me the option in case I need a slacker Malicos team. Yeah, I just don't know. So I'm going in a bit blind. I'm going to try it for offense, just personally.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe just throw it in the GL on defense.
Ray is still going to beat Lord Vader. Just an overall good team to have.
I love that team. Yeah, it's my new favorite team. It just
replaced
Star Killer.
He is a lot of fun. The amount of damage he does is just outrageous. He throws rocks at you, and you're like, "Oh shit, that hurt." So,
hey, where'd my team go?
Literally, I had people around me. Oh, now.
Yeah, and see, I usually put him on defense, but I had saved him for offense, like I told you earlier, and took out the Reva team, and it was the most coolest thing I'd ever seen. I just thought he was going to hit him with a rock, and all of a sudden, you know how it glitches for a minute where everything stops, and you know shit's about to go down? And I'm like, maybe someone's been left behind. No, everyone was gone. There was no revive or anything. They were done. I was like, that was fucking awesome.
Do you remember the old days of the Qui-Gon Jinn army when that worked versus GLs and stuff?
Yeah.
And you'd have that moment where Jedi Knight Anakin would glitch the fuck out, and you'd like run forward and you'd go like boom, boom, and disappear back and go forward, and then everybody would just be dead. You're like, something happened.
Yeah. Usually you'd be pissed if the screen froze up, but when you see that, you know you're about to unleash some fury on somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Is there any part of 3v3 you guys like?
When it ends, mostly.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
I like the championship payout at the end. Like that's a good time.
Yep. I don't hate it as much as most, but like I said a minute ago, it takes me a while to like knock the rust off.
For sure.
And then when I start getting in the flow and start getting good, it's like, oh well, it's over now. So, but I would still rather just do 5v5 all the time. And I hate the cadence. I hate that it's 5v5 and 3v3. I wish it was 5v5, 5v5, then 3v3. Because I just don't think it's that.
5v5s in a row and then 3v3?
Yeah, because isn't that an entire season or something? Like, isn't it three iterations, I think, is like a season? I don't know.
Oh, like if you're following Conquest, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's like 3 lots of Conquest, isn't there? And then we get a new thing come out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Crafting Wave chat says, My favorite part of 3v3 is when my opponents don't attack.
Yep.
That's fair.
Yep.
Fair. Yeah, we should be speaking. You mentioned Conquest. Should be getting a new tune at some point soon.
That's true. Yeah, there's no really hints either. Have you heard any wins?
No, I haven't. But what I can say is maybe we might actually get a fucking light side character for once. Just throwing it out there. Instead of like dark side, we've had like 3 light side characters in all of Conquest. How many Conquests have we had now? We've got like 1,800 dark side tunes and ships, and just Ben, Razor Crest, and
Cat.
See, I can't even... Cat, there you go. And she was one of the first ones as well. She was like
I think
first or second.
Ben Solo was the last light side character,
Yeah. It's like, give us some light side, please. Just to ease my OCD a little bit. To be like, God damn it, please give me a light side unit. I'm just hoping it's not a ship more than anything.
I was going to say, I'm wondering
it's
it's ship time.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I feel like it's...
And, if it's going to be a ship as well, and it can be light side, it's probably going to be something for Galactic Republic. Because I said this when the Marauder came out, and they were like, we've done this, and we've reworked the Endurance to make the Endurance more viable. And I was like, no fucker is going to use that with the Endurance. They're going to just throw it with the Negotiator and have it be better, right? Like, nobody does that. We have, there's so many fleets right now, you're just going to consolidate your power into one fleet, and it makes more sense. And lo and behold, that's what everybody fucking does, and it's a really good team comp now. So I'm thinking, if it goes light side and it's going to be a ship, it'll be something else for Galactic Republic that's going to pull that Marauder back over to the Endurance. What that means, what that could be, I don't fucking know.
I just want to thank you for not saying Red 5.
Oh, it's going to be Red 5. Absolutely.
I was going to say Ray 5. You remember it was going to be Ray 5 for a while?
Bob, put your fucking tinfoil away. You are going to get the community in an outrage.
You want to get even deeper with it? That's why they gave you. That's why they sold a pack for her, for Ray, because she's going to be required for Ray 5.
Oh yeah, no shit.
Lightspeed bundles.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of that, Scribe, that was huge news. How did you feel? How did you feel about those packs?
Well, it was a fucking kick in the dick, to be honest. Because the day after I unlocked SLKR, after putting him off for like 4 years, those packs dropped. So I had wasted hundreds of fucking Chirotech and shitloads of relic materials for them to release a $9.99 fucking pack the day after I unlocked him. I was like, sons of bitches. But hey, shit happens.
Scribe was one of those guys that I mentioned when we first talked about this.
You were the only people that we felt sorry for.
Yeah, I think my words were, you know what? There's some poor bastard out there right now that is pissed.
And that was me.
That was me.
But, shit happens. Shit happens. It's just the game at the end of the day. I'm still bitter about it. But hey, I mean, I would have been able to get Leia like fucking a month earlier if I didn't waste all my gear on fucking slacker requirements, instead just bought my way. But I still maintain that those Lightspeed bundles were actually fucking amazing, and they should do more of them. I think they were great.
And that's the rumor, apparently, is that there's 2 more coming.
I've heard that for months now. I've heard that since the day after the other ones released. That more were coming. I know that some were data mined, but...
Well, Hugh Hefner got a video about the possibility, and that's I call Arnold Hugh Hefner because he's like the Hugh Hefner of SWGOH content creators. He's got all his stormtroopers around him. So it's like, if there is 2, who the hell is it going to be? I don't think they can do Jedi Master Luke. I think there's too much crossover. So I'm thinking
they would just sell it. They would just sell a JML pack. That's what they would do for 10 more bucks.
Well, I think it'll go more granular than that. No. See, I think we're going like Executor to get some Imperial Troopers, which will work towards C. Yeah, so you get Piet in that pack. Maybe you'll get Bosk, which is a crossover with like the old packs that they did for the Radis ship, right? So there's a little bit of lost value there for the player base, but still does it. Still works towards a legendary. Because these first Lightspeed bundles were not like the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren Lightspeed pack. No, it wasn't. It was the BB-8 pack. It was the fucking Radis pack. It was the JTR pack. They're legendary unlocks. So we'll see stuff like Ewok pack for C-3PO, fucking Rebel pack for Jedi Knight Luke. They'll be that way, which still builds towards a galactic legend. but it'll focus on the mid-tier legendary unlocks that they can't just give you in a pack. Because JML needs stuff like Jedi Knight Luke. He needs stuff like C-3PO that you can't just give it away in a pack. I mean, they could theoretically, but I don't think they're going to. So I think they're going to be smaller. We'll have little ones, and like Ewoks for C-3PO would be huge. They won't necessarily include Nisa in it, but people see, oh, this can be used in the new raid. Fucking yeah, $10. I'll get like all of the Ewoks apart from Nisa to Relic 5. Bargain. Maybe it'll be $20 or whatever the fuck it'll be. But I can see them doing something like that instead, and still getting huge buy-in. Because I'll be honest, I would still buy that pack, and I've got most of the Ewoks sorted anyway. And like, fuck it, I'll do it for 1 or 2 characters that I need to go to Relic 5. Why not? For $9.99, it's a steal.
I'm in the same boat with you. I think only for me to have a full squad of Ewoks, I'm only missing like 2, so I'd probably buy it as well.
Yeah.
I
I bought the Radis pack for just L3 Young Han and who am I missing? L3 Young Han. There was one other person that I needed in that.
Was it Lando?
Yeah, young Lando. Yeah. So I spent $20 just for those 3 characters because I was like, yeah, fuck it. I want L3. And there was Karth and T3 actually, wasn't there? So yeah, there were more characters. They weren't meta characters or anything, but for $20, Relic 5, it's just silly to say no, to be honest. Unless you're a purist free to play, then I completely understand.
I think CG realized they can release affordable packs, and people will be like, that's really reasonable. I think I will buy that.
It's because we've had years of conditioning of $99 packs where we're like, fuck that, I'm not spending that. So.
No, I don't. I mean, I spend, but I think they had a $99 pack just recently where it had 30 Omicrons in it. I even looked at that and went, no. I mean, that was the draw, was 30 Omicrons. I went, yeah, no, not for $100. Out of your minds. No.
Yeah. I know a couple of whales that would just go, yep, buy. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have like fuck you money, but all right, that's cool. I'm glad you do.
Logan does. Don't let him fool you. Logan is definitely that kind of guy.
Yeah, but there's some deals I look at in that store, and I know that's bullshit. And there's just no, I spend, but I'm not stupid about it. I don't spend for the sake of, oh, it's 30 Omicrons, I could use those. No, I'm good. $100 can go somewhere else. That's just nah.
At that point, you just buy a vault, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, really, I think I feel like
17,000 crystals. Yeah.
Now I did drop $50 for crystals for when double drops hit because I was going to town. So that to me that made sense. That $50 for that extra chunk of crystals for 5 days of double drops, I went, yep, that makes all the sense in the world to me.
I get it.
All right, Yvonne, I think we had some questions for this week.
Viewer questions, yeah.
Yeah, we had quite a few, I believe.
Already, damn. We're moving along today.
Moving along.
Moving on up.
First viewer question was from Aussie Mike. Mike asks, what's your choice of condiment for hot chips? And then he says, pick for reference, as I know different countries call these different names. And why is it garlic aioli? And then for my American co-hosts, they're French fries.
So he's talking about French fries?
Yeah, what do you dip your French fries in?
Oh, when he said hot chips, I was thinking like spicy chips.
Like Lay's spicy chips or some shit?
Yeah.
No, he's talking French fries there, brother.
I've never used garlic aioli. That sounds good, but just like ranch, I think.
I'm ketchup all the way.
Yeah, man. I'm about to break out me the ketchup.
What are you for?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like ketchup. French fries, yeah, ketchup. That's what you do. Well, other people. Yeah, I wouldn't say no to garlic aioli, but if there's a bottle of ketchup next to me, I'm probably gonna grab that first.
What about you, Scribe?
Don't fucking know, to be honest. I mean, I'm not really a massive chip guy. I like and it's spicy. I like it. I'll probably dip it in something that's also spicy. So just some more hot sauce. Like fuck it, double dip of that shit.
Hot sauce is fire on that. I agree. I like it on my fries too. Agreed.
Sorry, scrolling. There's a lot of chatter in the thread.
How dare they talk? God damn.
Listen, you bastards, don't do it again.
Now we try to tell them, guys, take this to the general chat. Christ's sakes, we're going to be going through a thesis statement just to get to the questions.
It's usually my fault, I feel like.
It is.
The next question we kind of already talked about. Aussie Mike asked, with Dark Trooper Moff Gideon unlocking soon, what team will he go with? Will he be usable outside of TW? So we kind of already touched on that.
Yeah, I don't want to take Scout Trooper away from Iden because that stops people from trying to Wampa it. And there's still a really good Stormtrooper cron out there that works really well.
Oh my god, those sets are so fucking good for troopers, man.
Yes, they are. They really are.
I just got my Stormtrooper. I just got Stormtrooper to relics, and I cannot wait to put him in one of those trooper squads where he gets offense equal to 400% of his defense, and Stormtrooper just fucking deletes people.
And my secondary stat for defense on that cron that I have is like 325%.
Nice.
Jesus.
So it's gotten a couple holes. It got a couple holes in 5v5. I think people looked at it, probably underestimated it. One person tried wampaing it, and I just went, "Oh no! Why? Why would you try that? Why? Why would you do that to the poor wampa? Like, you just sent it to its death by firing squad."
Wampa deserves better.
It's true.
Our next question's from Bodhi. Bodhi asks, question: to push the raid scores forward, we are benchmarking ourselves against tougher guilds. Because we have Zareth's ult, we thought it to be funny to target Solo Base's main guild as our benchmark, and it's working so far. So my question is, do you benchmark yourself or your guild against someone else or another guild? And if so, who?
It's hard for us to get anyone to even attack, so we're benchmarking against ourselves, I think.
I respectfully disagree as your fellow officer of your guild.
Wobbling!
Our engagement in this raid has been higher than it was with Crate. I think people were bored with Crate and didn't have Tuskens and Old Republic Relict, and they were just like, I'm not going to do that. So we benchmark ourselves with where we were at previously, but we don't like benchmark other guilds. But we're also not uber competitive. We're competitive, but we're not going to be like, oh, you didn't do that? Get out of the guild.
Farm Geonosian Brute Alpha, even though we're doing Rote now.
You really need to farm Geo Brute Alpha, Bones.
I finished. Oh, Avant, I forgot to tell you, I was going to ask everybody what are their. Well, I'll wait to the last question before we wrap it up.
Okay.
I have some news for you.
Oh?
I don't know about benchmark. Now, he's talking about the raid or TW?
Yeah, like your raid score.
The guild I'm in, we're halfway to the 424 box. So, I mean, I think just normal progression. I know I'm going to be putting Scribe's video on our guild Discord about the solo Leia thing, because I think everybody needs to know that shit, because if that's 2.7 mil, sign me up, buddy. I'm good with that score.
That was an easy 2.7, and it was money.
Yeah. Money all day.
It's good to know. It's definitely good to know.
And the more people get Leia, especially in the higher guilds, I think you're going to see scores get higher in this raid than you will the Crate Dragon.
Definitely. Yeah. Our guild definitely just benchmarks against itself. I sometimes look around at what other guilds are doing and then get jealous and then get angry and be like, guys, fucking do some shit. Like, come on. Can you see these fucks? These fucks are getting more points than us. Yeah, or I just complain to the officers and get them to complain to the rest of the guild because I'm not an officer and I don't want to be an officer. No, thank you. Not again. I've been there, done that.
Gavin Stunt Double in the chat wants to know if halfway to the 400 million box means you're getting 200 million.
No.
No. I imagine it's like 310, roughly.
The boxes, like, when you get up, so, like, we just got the 144 box, and then the next box is, like, 208. So, like, and the one below 144 was, like, 125. So, like, as you get up higher, the distance between the scores increases.
Yeah, like the last box we got was the we're halfway in between the 208 mil and the 424. So we're getting.
Yeah, it jumps up by like 200 million each time at that point. It goes to like 208 to 424, and then it goes to like 665 or something. It's really big jumps in the middle.
Malik is soloing my Malicos team in Conquest right now.
Welcome to Conquest, baby.
Right? Avant, you're coming in real broken up.
Yeah, breaking up. How about now?
Okay, no, you're good.
I can hear you now.
Doing that weird echo thing.
Okay. Next question from Bones. Okay, what's something I can do to get the upper hand in Levy mirror matches? Can putting Relic 7 on Assassin help, or does she have to be Relic 9?
No. So, like, mirror matches for... sorry, guys, like, I don't have to jump in on this. You guys can take it.
No, I actually would way rather have your opinion than any of these guys.
You would, no.
So, I mean, personally, the first thing that I would look at is if you want to really have the most success, don't fucking mirror match. That would be my first response, is like use the Empire counter. Because
okay, but I don't have Scythe though. I don't have Scythe.
Yeah, fair enough. If you don't have the Scythe and you're literally stuck and you've got to be doing mirror matches, then you can't definitively say where it is, because it's going to be independently. It independently depends on how much relics they've got on their Sith Assassin, right? The idea is you'll need to have more relics or more speed at least on your Sith fighter than they have on theirs, and that's just to get that TM train going. If you can't, if you don't have more relic levels, then you're kind of shit out of luck. Like you can still win. You can still win. It can still swing your own way. You just need to try and make sure when you have the opportunity to attack with your Sith fighter that you're hitting something that's got full health to bring it down below full health to gain some TM across the team. That's the only way you can really mitigate it. But just check their speed. Make sure you've always got at least 6E mods on your Sith Assassin. I don't like R9 Sith Assassin. To me, is just a crazy, stupid investment. But like I said, I will not, in almost any circumstance, go for a Levy mirror match, because I don't like them this sketchy. I would rather go in with the Empire counter. But if that's off the table, and you also don't have Marauder, where you could potentially multi-tap the Leviathan, or even one-tap it by using Negotiator with Marauder, Anakin's ETA2 and Snips' ship as a starting lineup, that will guarantee a 2-tap, but also has a relatively decent chance, I'd probably say about 50% chance of one-tapping a Leviathan. So those are the options that I would go for before even thinking about going higher. Personally, I just took my Sith Assassin to Relic 6 to get the low-hanging fruit of being able to take anybody out that didn't take their Sith Assassin beyond Relic 5.
Which is me. So should I up my R5 then to like R7 or something?
No, just go to R6. Literally, R6. If you've got 6E mods, your Sith fighter will be faster, and that's all that matters. Like that R6, R7 doesn't matter. So long as it's one relic, it's not even relic level. It's not quite as clear cut as that. So long as you are one speed faster than the opponent, that's all that matters. You don't care if you deal more damage or if you can take more damage. It's just the speed to get that first little bit of a boost.
Yep.
Something that
I've been.
You could just get good and do what I did and make a poor investment decision and put your assassin to Relic 9. I've said that shit, and I just wanted to take my glasses off and be like, man, I'm
for fuck's sake. Like, don't get me wrong, man. Like, at the top end, that is what people do. That's what people do. Yeah. Like if you're talking high-end Kyber 1 PvP or even in TW, right? Like people are going to be doing that because it does close out counters. It makes things a lot harder to deal with, and it forces an equal level of investment across the board. I'm not saying there's no value. I'm just saying it's like it's it's diminishing returns, and you're better off investing in the other counters before you start thinking about pushing that shit higher. Right. In my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt.
I'm mainly just trying to, like, I'm mainly talking about Arena. I used to be able to climb with Profundity, and that was after the nerf.
Yeah, they closed that shit.
Really?
Wow.
But that was after they did the buff to it. Because I looked up a video. I don't know if it was fucking Bit Dynasty or somebody. I looked up, and it said, the video said after I keep wanting to say nerf, after the buff, and it worked. Nothing was announced. Nothing was changed, and it stopped working. I no longer get the assists or anything, so I just quit using that.
Yeah, you get isolated, don't you? They isolate your ship with the first special.
Yeah.
And that fucks the Y-Wing completely.
With the Levy mirror match, one of the things that I've been doing is your first Leviathan move is the one where you destroy the engines. And then before I destroy the hangars, I will bring in my TIE Dorito.
So I don't do that. I do the 2 special moves first. So I shouldn't do that?
Nah, yeah.
Okay.
Bring in your TIE Dorito. And this is just like only if they haven't destroyed your hangar. Because if you do destroy hangar, typically the AI's first reinforcement is the Mark 6, and then it doesn't destroy it. So you've wasted that ability. So I will often do destroy the engines, call in my TIE Dorito, then I'll destroy the hangar. Okay. And then that way you're not wasting that move to destroy their reinforcement. And then even if you get your bridge overtaken, you have your TIE Dorito on the field, and you can use your Mark 6 with your next move. Hopefully you get it before the bridge gets taken over, and then you can have like a fighting chance at winning, even though you didn't go first.
Okay, that's good to know, because I wasn't doing that, so that might help.
If you can get that first reinforcement out, then definitely do it. And it's definitely the Dorito first, because like they said, like Avant said, the Mark 6 interceptor is immune to destroy effects, so it won't die from being reinforced when the hangars are destroyed, and it can't be destroyed by itself. If it's got all the stacks and it gets basicked, that also won't kill it because it's immune to those destroy effects. So definitely do that if you can.
No, that helps a lot, actually.
Yeah, on those mirror matches, if I don't go first, the TIE Dorito comes in. If I do go first, I normally bring an Imperial Shuttle instead.
I don't even have that thing. Cool. I don't even have him. I have fucking Phantom.
Normally when I climb now, I'm doing the Empire counter because it's good practice.
I would love the Scythe. I would love it, but it's gonna be about 4 years before I get it. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
As your TB officer, I would also love if you had the Scythe, because we need them for platoons.
I would rather spend on Chirotechs and other shit on the stupid new Galactic Legend store than fucking 2 shards a month for Scythe. I'm sorry. It's gonna help me out. It's gonna help us all out.
Still doesn't have Bad Batch.
Yeah, and so I can't use Marauder because the whole joke with the community is me and Bad Batch, because I'm always like, what can I counter when I'm doing my streams in Grand Arena? What is this counter? It's constantly fucking Bad Batch is the answer to everything.
Dude, I know the exact feeling. For years I had, hey, you know what's good here? Slacker. And now I get, hey, you know what's useful here? Afra. And I'm like, fuck you guys, man. Come on. Like, shut up.
But you know what's funny?
Feel your pain, brother.
What's funny is that you say that, is I always bitch about the counter answer is always Bad Batch and Slacker. Slacker counters fucking everything. And I just got him recently.
Does, to be fair.
Slacker's an amazing tune. Okay. He's outstanding.
Our next question. Oh, sorry, guys.
No, you're good, bud.
Next question's from Aussie Mike. Which Datacrons should we be aiming for this set? Asking for a friend who does GAC on my account.
which is me.
which is Bones.
What would we say? The Afro one, the Boosh one.
I would say priority 1 is the Booshcron.
I think you should go after a Scoundrel no revive as well for your cat.
For cat,
yep.
Is there
those are the 3 that really stand out. And if you can get some Scoundrel bonus turn ones, those will be really good.
Okay.
Definitely.
And then Aussie Mike asks, will Ray lead Jawas be a thing?
Oh,
Not in threes, I don't think.
Not in
You need
threes,
more
but-
Jawas, right?
There you go, old man.
Old man.
Do it.
Ray, Ben Solo, Jawa Scavenger.
Do it.
Oh,
You know, I have a Jawa level 9 Kron. Who the hell is
What do you know?
you just wait back for 5v5 and go with like Ray 3 Jawas and Nisa with a Nisa Cron. So they'll
Ooh.
revive.
Oh, got the Nisakron too.
But then again, they'll probably just kill it with gas. So it's like fucking gas beating Ray, man. Like, still.
I've got Dathja.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that the Jawacron you've got? I have no fucking clue what that even does.
Yeah, it gains 15% turn meter when other allies use a special ability on their turn. That's not bad.
That's a lot of turn meter.
Yeah.
Our next question is from Crafting Way, and we definitely already talked about this. Crafting Way, thanks for the question about the raid. But the one thing Crafting Way did mention is Gerbil has a good video out on the raid. Takes a little bit to understand, but it's actually pretty simple. 2 rebels and an Imperial seems to be incredibly strong. And apparently Ewoks are bugged in a bad way, which is true. Something's wrong with Timber and they're not working as intended.
It's jam.
Is that what it is?
And I don't think it's actually bugged. I think it's just worded a little innocuously. So basically, like what he was saying in his video is that jam is supposed to be like evade, right? Like they'll use their basic and they should be consuming their jam to deal additional damage, which they do. But jam is also supposed to like lower the difficulty of the tier, so you don't get like the Shadow Troopers, for example.
Right.
However, it's only at certain thresholds of jam. So the higher up your jam, the easier your waves are going to be. But it only lowers when you actually bring down a wave in difficulty. So you need to have like gone up to a Shadow Trooper, and then stopped the next wave from being a Shadow Trooper. Only then will it use your jam. It doesn't use it every single wave. So it's kind of like counterintuitive. If all you're facing is the basic Scout Trooper recruits, it'll never go down, which means you can never score massively highly because you need to have the higher enemies to get the big points, because that's where all the points are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird. I think it just means we need to play Ewoks a little differently. If I'm understanding it correctly, I'm sure news will come out and be, Scribe's a fucking moron, doesn't understand how jam works. God damn. So, yeah.
I'll be clicking on that video for sure.
Yeah, I'll make it myself. Scribe's a fucking moron.
Don't worry, I have no idea what most kits do, so you're doing well. You're doing well.
That's
for
true.
yourself.
Yeah.
That's true.
This is true.
Next question is from Drew. Drew asks, favorite item or collectible to look for at a garage sale or antique shop?
I like this one. Okay. What I look for is anything vintage, nerdy stuff, video games, action figures. My new thing is just like books and stuff that I liked, or I like. I don't know, like trading cards sometimes. The usual nerd stuff. That's it for me.
Any military? I mean, because I was in the service, so any military memorabilia, anything like that, I don't go to many of those. My wife, unfortunately, detests them, so sometimes I have to go by myself. Like, you're just buying other people's shit. I'm like, yeah, but every now and again, you find a gem in that shit.
It's a blast. I used to work at a flea market. It was fun.
Yeah, I don't really go to too many garage sales, but I would say I look for like old video games like NES or Super Nintendo games, stuff like that.
You know what? It's amazing you say that, because I will say the last time I went to one, this guy had a box of old Sega Saturn games.
Oh, cool.
Or not
Sick.
Sega, no, the Sega Dreamcast. The Sega
Dreamcast.
Great game too.
And if I could find a copy of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, because that game on eBay is like $130.
Anything underneath PS2, buy it up. Even PS2, because I mean, it's hard. Everyone's doing it now. It's I don't know what created the craze, but if you see that shit and it's a decent price, buy it up because they're little antiques and very valuable.
Get an original sort of PlayStation 1 Final Fantasy VII case with like unscratched games and no cracks in it and the booklet and everything, and you'll be that'll be worth something.
Yeah, you're right. Those RPGs, man. Especially if you get the black label Final Fantasy VII, like you said.
Yeah. Not like the platinum versions. At least that's what they called them in the UK. Was that the same in the States?
It's like greatest hits, maybe.
Release.
Yeah, it was platinum greatest hits or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, in the UK it was called platinum, and it had like a silver band on the bottom instead of the black band for the case.
And there was with Final Fantasy VII, there was like 4 discs in the platinum or the greatest hits, and then I think there was 7 to 8 in the black label one. So, but yeah, Dragon's Quest, all those like JRPGs are worth a lot nowadays.
I used to feel old.
Yeah. Next question is from TK. TK asks, Autobot or Decepticon?
Oh, Decepticon. I mean, come on. Decepticon.
Yeah, I'm Decepticon.
Are those the bad ones?
I'm not a Prime fan, but the Decepticons had, I mean, other than the Dinobots, the Decepticons had the better roster, better character, cooler looking characters. I mean, I love Ironhide, but the fucker was a minivan.
He's gonna go pick kids up from soccer.
Like, you're a little kid and you transform Ironhide and you're looking for the soccer mom. Like, at least Starscream was a goddamn jet. I mean, they even had the 3 dudes that turned into the camera. I mean, they just had cool shit.
I don't know if that's cool, but yeah, unique, that's for sure. I wasn't a Transformer kid. I was born after that craze, so I caught the end of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as a kid.
Oh man, that was sick. I used to love the Turtles as a kid.
Yep, those movies, man. Those movies still live up.
They're brilliant, man.
Yeah,
with the big fucking costumes.
They were great. I still love them though. Like,
they worked. They actually really worked.
Yeah.
Jim Henson's animatronics.
Mwah.
It always got me, like back in the 90s cartoon of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that Shredder was voiced by Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince. I was like, holy shit.
Are you
That's
serious?
Uncle Phil is Shredder. Yeah, man.
I didn't know
not know that.
Oh, poor Uncle Phil.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to wrap my brain around that the Kurgan from Highlander is Mr. Krabs.
The who?
Wouldn't it?
Clancy Brown. You ever seen the old Highlander movie, the Kurgan, the villain?
Yeah, but a long time ago.
Yeah, I remember. I wouldn't remember.
He does the voices Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob.
Huh. I'll have to check that out.
I'm trying to wrap my brain around that fucking one.
Like, that's where your career ends up. You're in something badass like Highlander, and now you're Mr. Krabs.
Hey, man, it's a paycheck.
Yeah.
Some actors make money doing that voiceover shit. Look at Mark Hamill, greatest
You
Joker
do it.
ever.
Give us a Watto real quick. Give us some Watto for old Scribe here.
So we've got this Scribe on the show here to talk SWGOH. And if he's wrong on his last topic, it's going to say Scribe is a dumb fuck. He promised. That'll be the title. Ooh. And Bob, what's going on with your Bad Batch? You still don't have them. Ooh.
I feel like you might need a mint after that or something, man. I mean, it's fucking fire. It's like on point, but shit.
One of our viewers said, "Can you do an entire episode as Watto?" And I went, "No, man. I if I went to work the next day, I'd be like, you."
Next question is from Drew. Drew asks, "Are you worried about the decisions you make in the game while Mercury is in retrograde?" LOL.
Yeah, fuck me.
How long is this going? I didn't know this was happening. How long does this go on for? My wife said something about it the other day. I don't. Is this a long period of time, or is this a short period of time that we're in retrograde?
Most of my life, I think, is something's been in retrograde.
Yeah, I don't even know what it means, to be honest. But every decision I make every day, I blame on retrograding. So
yeah, that's what happened to my hairline, man. Like fucking retrograded all the way fucking off my head. And damn.
I blame going gray on that shit. I mean, I got the silverback sides going on.
Yeah,
so,
but that makes you look distinguished, man. You've got the whole Reed Richards look going on. That's not bad. So,
Havorius says it happens quite a bit. So, you guys just have to let me know so I can keep track.
yeah.
Then I won't make any drastic changes. I won't roll datacrons when Mercury is in retrograde and fucking Mars is rising or whatever the fuck it is. I don't even know.
Tell you how much sleep I lose over this phone.
Our next question is from Salacious Dumb. If you suddenly started to listen and like the musical stylings of the Insane Clown Posse, what would your Juggalo name be?
Could you repeat that?
Here's the thing: is I'm a fan of all that stuff since I was a kid. I tried to think when I read of a name for the show, and I couldn't come up with anything clever. Someone wrote one in the chat. You might as well give that an honorable mention. But
What
Crafting Way said, "Obi Fun Clown Obi."
What kind of music is Insane Clown Posse? I know I'm really aging.
Is it music? I thought it was a joke.
It's kind of like spooky circus rap.
Wait, what?
You've never listened to them before?
Bob, you're fucking with me right now.
Also,
Bob, you're legit fucking with me.
you've never listened to the Insane Clown Posse, ICP.
No.
Okay, have Avant, have you know a little bit about rap?
76. I don't know what the fuck you're talking
I
about.
know who ICP is, but I've never listened to them because it's just not my style.
Okay, so I will send you guys a song. You have to at least listen to one song and know what you're talking about. Okay?
Can it just be 30 seconds?
Well, you can listen to it for 30 seconds. I don't think they have one.
No, don't put it on here. Just put it in the Discord.
That's what I'm talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not right now.
Okay,
I'll try to remember to listen to that before the new year.
we're almost done with the questions here. Drew asks, if CG gave you a Christmas gift in game, what would you want? Bones would get Bad Batch.
Fuck that. I don't want that shit. I want a crate,
No,
man.
he said it. No, he said it. That's if they did that, that's what you're getting.
A full Omicron, 20 Omicron mats.
That's it.
You guys are lowballing, man.
Yeah.
Why don't you just ask them to max out your crystal currency so you just can't have any more? Like you've got 1 billion crystals in your account. Then you're done. You're set for life. Like, yep, I'll just have everything.
You know, Scribe, I like where you're going, but a long time ago I learned to keep my standards very low. That way I'm rarely disappointed. So I think I'm going to go with the Omicrons.
We know we're dealing with
That's
CG
fair.
here.
That's fair. If we're being reasonable in our requests, what would I want? I'd probably actually say you don't even have to give it to me for free, but bring out a variety selection of Lightspeed bundles. Bring out like one a month, just something new every month, and I'll be happy. I'll still pay for it if I need at least one character.
I like that. I just want to crate.
It'd be kind of fun too if they gave everyone a free 7-star character. It was just like a free data card, and you got a random 7-star character.
Do you remember when they did that for Ahsoka Tano Fulcrum? That was kind of cool. Like, I didn't need her, but it was kind of nice of them. They were like, hey, if you don't have a 7-star Fulcrum, you do now. Congratulations. It's like, oh.
Was there a
thanks,
reason
CG.
for it, or was it just random?
For the show.
It was because of the show, right?
The show,
it was like a promotion for the show.
Yeah. That's right.
Last question is from Extreme Makeover Alderon. Who should get fired like Matt Canada from any SWGOH squad?
Oh, you know what? Tip my cap to that comment. All right. And,
Scribe, Matt Canada is a football team Steelers coach that got fired.
Okay, right. Because that was right over my head. I was like, who? What faction does he belong to?
I'm like, Scribe's going to be like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, fuck that Matt Canada bloke.
Bringing up
Damn.
pound gangs, and now who the fuck is Matt Canada? Is he like the lead singer? Like, what are we talking about?
Of that Insane Clown Posse. Was he the lead singer of them?
He is, yes.
The lead rapper.
He even got-
I fucking knew it.
He got fired from that, so you know he's bad.
Yeah.
Who would I want
can-
fired? Squad?
Omega.
Yeah. Yeah. Go with that.
Yeah,
I mean, I think I've already fired her because, like, you were talking about a random 7-star character. That would be the only one. Oh, that clone is still not 7-star.
Nisa.
Care.
I'm fucking pissed
Oh.
about Nisa. How do we not get Teak? I'm fucking pissed still about her. She was less known than Teak was. Like, no one watched that fucking cartoon. Everyone that watched the cartoon, I guarantee you, watched the movies already. But
Bob, I thought we put this argument to bed. I thought we were over this.
Scribe, do you know who Teak is?
Do I fuck? Like, who?
Teak. Okay, so
Like,
did you ever watch the Ewok
teak
movies?
isn't teak a type of wood?
It is a type of wood.
I didn't know that.
Usually used on fiberglass boats to make it look decorative.
So,
It actually
Yeah,
is a
there you
very nice, stylish type of wood.
all right, well, I'm going to tag you in Discord after this. I'm going to show you a picture of Teak, but Teak was in the Ewok movies. Did you ever watch those?
No,
Bones.
God no.
Copy and paste the Jerry Sandusky picture.
I guarantee he doesn't know who that is either.
Oh, that's probably true.
Okay, we'll figure it out after the thing, but Teak is
Yeah,
the Ewok movie. He was like a methed out Ewok that would go real fast, and he would go around like the Flash. And we deserve him. And he was way more popular than fucking Nisa was. I promise you. That's
Well,
about
like
it.
out of the 12 people that watched the Ewok movie,
Exactly.
I think.
Good. My goodness.
There was a second part to Extreme Makeover Alderon's question, and it was more of a it was a question. They say, forget the Gungans. Why aren't the Naboo in the game?
That's a fish out.
What's a Nabooian?
It's where the Queen of the Nabuti rules.
All I can remember is
I mean,
her bodyguard.
they need to. Panaka?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Very good.
I don't remember who
Yeah,
any more
like-
of them.
She needs some loving, man. Padme needs a little bit of loving. I'm secretly hoping that Kelleran Beck does something and ignites a passion. Next year, I think, is the 25th anniversary of Phantom Menace. So maybe Padme can stop being Sadme and actually get some support again next year. Who knows?
Or, hear me
Don't
out.
do it. Don't do it.
The fucking Gungans with GL Jar Jar.
No, not GL Bossnass.
No.
Yeah. No, fuck that guy.
But I could see Jar Jar being a conquest. That was pretty good. I was proud of you, Yvonne. That was good.
Scribe just made me very happy. There's a thing on this show, Scribe, where many viewers over the time I've been doing this purposefully put Jar Jar questions in the chat just to get me going and to get
Just to
me
troll you.
irate and to get me to rant, because I have vowed that if that useless turd of an abortion of a character that's in this franchise ever
I mean,
enters
tell me how you really feel, Logan.
ever enters this game, then I will hang up the spurs of my wallet and I will go permanent free to play.
That's a
They will not.
promise.
CG will not get another dime.
Oh my god, I can't wait.
And that's why.
Okay.
And that's why CG hasn't released the Gungan faction so far. That's the real reason.
Plan. Because of my spending, it'll hurt their bottom line too much, and they'll go, we can't do this. Old man will stop spending.
They need your money.
You're holding them to ransom. You're like, you better not fucking release Jar Jar, you piece of shit. Otherwise, I'm leaving. Yeah, I love it.
All right, that's all the questions. y'all.
CG, bring on Jar Jar.
So, all right. What do you feel about Jar Jar coming to the game, Scribe? Was that a fuck no that I heard?
I don't give a shit, to be honest, man. Like, if Jar Jar comes to the game, fine. Who cares? Like, yeah, whatever. I'm kind of pragmatic about characters coming to the game. I don't really care if they're cool. If they're good in the game, I'll usually get them regardless. You know, like, a lot of people are pissy about, like, Rey, for example. They're like, I'm not going to fucking get Rey. I will not in any circumstance, relic up Rose Tico because it's fucking Rose Tico. And I'm like, well, fine. If you don't want a galactic legend, then you're a fucking dumbass, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not saying that Jar Jar is the equivalent of a GL. I'm just saying, if it's good, I'll get it. Sure, I don't really care if he comes to the game, but, whatever. Why not? Like, meh.
I mean, they were a big faction in the movies, so it's going to happen.
There was one or two of them. I saw some of them.
And I think he turned the Republic. Like, I think he turned. Like, everyone kept blaming Sidious for everything. I think he infiltrated the Senate, and he's the reason why they turned bad.
Bob, you're running out of foil. Stop.
Senator Jar Jar,
You're literally running out of foil.
I think he's got a cut on his head, and he's got like aluminium poisoning in his bloodstream or something.
He does.
Mercury.
He's addled his brain.
We haven't figured it out yet. That's a good guess.
Last question we go around the panel before we wrap it up for the night is, over the past 2 weeks, what big accomplishment or something you have unlocked that you're happy about did you make in your roster?
Mine's easy. I got Leia's ultimate, and I took her to R9.
Had to fucking one-up me, didn't you? God damn it. Because I got Leia to Relic 9, but I'm still like 3 matches short of the ultimate. So
Hopefully before GAC lock.
Oh, I'll make sure it's before then, because we've just had the weekly story fresh as well, so that's another token right there.
Oh, true. Yeah.
True. That is true.
Yeah, I've just been farming Leia. I've finished a couple of people 7-star, but that's about it. What about you, man? What have you spent on? Have you found anything to spend on, Logan?
No, not lately, to be honest. Christmas time, so that's down.
Okay.
Temporary. But I will say, for me, and I know you guys did a roster roast on me, that was in a hysterical evening. You guys were giving me shit for like characters that nobody else would ever have done, but Avant did pick one out, and I fixed it. I was given a lot of grief for not having my Geo Brood Alpha to relics, and I had the gear, I had the relics, so I said screw it and brought the Geo Brood Alpha to Relic 7. So
and how did that benefit you at all?
He's a good tank.
He's enough that I mean, Avant was right. That the Geo Brood Alpha is good for plug and play.
Yeah, he's useful. It's a pre-taunting tank that isn't actually a tank as well, which is great. Like I say, it's great. Very niche use, but there are certain scenarios in like galactic challenges where you can't have a tank on the team, for example. But if you throw in GBA, you get a tank without actually having a tank, so you can still get some of the feats and shit done. I know that's super niche, but that's one use.
Sense. Well, when he has nothing else to do, that's going to help him probably.
Well, and because I did that, I will say it was nice to see the number hit that, but I hit the 12 million mark.
Hey, congrats, buddy! Every time I hit a new million, it always feels good.
It does. You're kind of like, ooh, another million.
Yeah.
So
you don't have too many more to go. How are you gonna do it?
I don't know. All right, so we are gonna wrap up this latest episode of 3 Scoundrels in a Cantina. And once again, want to thank our guest, Scribe. Scribe, again, just give a shout out as to where everybody can find you, those that came in late. And anyone else, we'll go around the room for last words, and then we will wrap it up.
Sounds good. Thanks so much for having me. Y'all can find me on YouTube. And of course, I stream on Twitch most days of the week. Just come around and join me. Have a good time. Thanks for having me, guys.
No, absolutely. Thank you for coming on.
Dude, yeah, it was an honor having you, man. We just appreciate you taking your time, coming by, and not taking your time, taking time out of your time. Time out of your schedule.
Oh, good.
Time out of your schedule to come see us. But
there's that aluminum poisoning again.
It's getting to me. I'm starting to twitch a little bit. It's getting hot in here.
Yeah.
Thank you for being the first guest to humor Bones's theories and aluminum foil hats. I think you played into a few of those really nicely. And
you did. Well done, sir. Well played.
Scribe, thank you for the first time on this show making me feel valid, man. It's a big deal.
I'm a lover, you know what I mean? I'm a giver. I'm here to lift you guys up. That's my purpose in life.
Dude, I'm a receiver. How weird is that?
Okay, that's the second time you came on to one of our co-hosts.
I was
okay?
going to say, like, awful sounds like you're saying, I'm a bottom, guys. Just saying.
He's gonna break out the wine and cheese again. He's gonna start offering you shit, and then it's all downhill from there, sweetheart.
Just meet me on Logan's. Meet me on Logan's Illuminati boat, and we'll be there.
Yep. Oh God, the yacht jokes just never get old. They really
Never.
But yeah, thank you everybody. Thank you, Scribe. Thank you, co-hosts. It's always good doing these shows with you guys. After a couple
absolutely.
weeks.
I hope everybody had a safe holiday. Thank you for coming. We will be here next week. Hopefully, we have some more news. If not, then we're just gonna do what we did this Thursday, which is bring on a good guest, chew the fat, and make shit up as we go. So
Yes,
that'll
sir.
be it.